like your new RAV4.
Thanks, yours too.
What does RAV stand for anyway?
To me, it's the Remarkably Advanced Vehicle.
Really? To me, it's the runway approved vehicle for its amazing style.
What about Remarkably Adaptable Vehicle because of its versatile cargo space?
Or really admired vehicle?
Oh, or Really Awesome Vehicle.
It really is the recreational activity vehicle. The stylish 2026 Toyota RAV4 Limited. What's your RAV4?
Pizza party, a pizza party, it's a pizza party, a pizza party, it's a pizza party, a pizza party, it's a pizza party, a pizza party. Started as a kid with a team to believe in. Every win and loss left my heart still beating. Year after year through the rain and the sun, learning that faith is what makes us strong. We all won.
The puck drops and a massive slap shot. It's good afternoon and welcome back to the Superfan Diaries. We're coming to you from Broadway in downtown Nash Vegas, and today we have something pretty special for all you listeners, kids, adults, and your favorite grandparents. I'm J.R. Green, and this is the story about what happens when you never lose the kid inside you. Before the NHL, before winning a Stanley Cup, and before the pressure. Just two kids in Canada playing hockey, laughing in the locker rooms, and somehow that same energy turned into something new. A band, a kids album, and a whole lot of joy. Fresh off their debut album, Pizza Party, it's Pizza Party, yeah! Welcome, Nashville Predators center, a future Hall of Famer, Ryan O'Reilly, and Kelly James of the band Mac N Cheeze. How we feeling today, guys?
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. What an intro.
That's a great intro. Love it.
You guys deserve it. I mean, look at Ryan over here. He's wearing a giant macaroni. You can't get any better than that.
That's just every day for him. That's regular life. You guys have never seen him off the without his hockey helmet on. That's what he always has on.
That's dedication, baby.
Unfortunately, I've got Kelly's cheese head here as well. But I'm right now in kind of where we do a lot of our writing and practicing. And so I like to keep the helmets here because it really helps us get into character when we're performing, when we're, just even writing. So unfortunately, Kelly doesn't have his on right now, but it's here.
Well, he's looking cool because he's in Los Angeles. Sorry about that. You're stuck here in Nashville with me right now, which is actually raining today, but all good. All right, guys, we got to go back to the beginning. Take me back. Two kids in Canada on the major junior travel league hockey circuit. What did that friendship look like early on between you two?
I always remember, it's funny, I think me and Ryan obviously connected pretty quickly when we first met. He was a rookie when I played on the Erie Otters for a year. And when he came in, I think there was just sort of like, I don't know, a funny connection where, it was beyond hockey and all those other things. And we connected on music and film and TV and things like that. And I think he would admit that him and I kind of bring a bit of an energy when we're in a room and things like that. And you could imagine in the dressing room in Erie that we had a lot of fun together and stuff like that. And outside of the arena, we played music a lot and that kind of thing. And over time, it developed into us making songs. And I think I'll let Ryan take over from like how it's kind of gotten to this point now of being in Nashville and stuff like that.
Well, before he even goes, though, I got to jump to it. I mean, this is childhood relationship. You guys are good buddies. How many fights did you get in with the other team when one of you got checked a little too hard?
Neither of us are real, let's say, tougher fighters.
The bruisers.
I know, shockingly with this helmet on. Yeah, I'm not a big fighter, but no, we in junior. So like we first met, we're probably high school. So mid-high school is where we became close right away. And it was nice. We had some other tough guys on our team that if anything happened, we'd just be, hey, see what happened to him. Maybe go take care of that kind of thing. But
love that.
Yeah, us specifically, no, we were a little bit more, I guess.
We're the lovers. We're the lovers, not the fighters, I guess.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love it. All right. Was there a moment you both knew that this is my bro? Obviously in high school, you each felt a bond. You'd be a part of each other's lives for so long. As I've met a lot of people, and I consider myself really lucky that I still have childhood friends, 40 years that I've been friends with all the way until now in my 50s. I've met a lot of people. It's very difficult to have that. Was there a moment you guys knew you'd be brothers forever?
Yeah, I think even just right away, first meeting each other, I just remember I couldn't stop laughing. Kelly was just someone that commanded the room and just
He's got that smile, Ryan. He's got that smile.
Exactly, exactly, and just so kind of fun to be around. And I was just kind of young at the time, a rookie, a little quieter, and I just remember Kelly was just so fun to be around, and I just knew like right away that this was the birth of a beautiful friendship.
I'll jump in too. I think there was a moment in our rookie year too. I think I guess like our families and like we just our families kind of mesh well together as well too. And like his brother Cal was such a good guy too and stuff like that. But I think there was a moment I think in our rookie year or his rookie year I think when we went back home to his hometown for Thanksgiving. And I think I stayed overnight or something like that. And I remember waking up in the morning to Ryan's dad making breakfast with no shirt on, like singing like out loud to, I swear to God, it might have been like Aretha Franklin or like something like outrageous. And it just reminded me of my own dad. And it's just one of those things where like, we already knew we were boys and we knew we got along, and you kind of see those things of like, why maybe, right? Like our families are a little goofy, a little weird. Not afraid to sing and just be fun and stuff like that. So I think we give a lot of credit to our dads for being that way, that have made us this way a bit of like, not worried about what we look like so much as you could tell with Ryan there.
Yep, I can tell. I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, we're going to jump to another thing about teams and fandom. Growing up, Kelly, a.k.a. Uncle Kelly, and the Cheese, who did not wear his cheese hat today. Who were your favorite teams when you were growing up?
I was a Leaf fan growing up.
They got a cool logo. You got to admit it. I like that logo. It's a cool logo.
Yeah. Man, when you grow up in Toronto, in the Greater Toronto area, it's basically just like inbred in you to be a Leafs fan. And I'm still a Leafs fan. But I always like to say, like, I've been fortunate. You talk about having friends and still staying in touch with people that you played hockey with or old friends and things like that. I've been fortunate to have not just Ryan, but a couple other guys that have made the NHL and made long careers. So I personally have been spoiled to be able to cheer for my friends more than and especially over the long time of the Leafs not doing as well as they could have. It's always been nice to have, Ryan, or I don't know, I grew up playing with Stammer on Nashville too. So it's nice to see him going through long playoff runs and things like that.
Oh, that's great. Ryan, how about you? Who was your favorite as a kid?
I always kind of followed players and whatever team they were on. I have an older brother too. Whatever kind of team he was on, I kind of felt like I was a part of it and would always watch extra close. But growing up, Colorado was a team that I always admired their talent and the way they were. As I got older, my favorite players were Zetterberg and Datsuk, and those were guys I'd always, if they're playing, always tried to tune in to watch them. Which was always exciting, and just learned a lot from watching those guys.
Well, then tell me this, because this gets back into the world of fandom, and for all the fans that are listening there, you have a unique perspective because, Ryan, you've been on multiple teams. You've also had to play. You just mentioned that you're not a super fan of any one particular team when you were younger, but now when you get on a team and you got to play potentially one of your good buddies, how do you handle that mentally? I mean, because you're going against your buddy. And I don't know if you and Kelly ever played against each other, but like when you're playing against a friend, what enters your mind?
I know it's weird. A lot of times with the way our schedule works out, you're able to kind of see your buddies before the game, whether, grab dinner the night before or you're staying over, get to see them after. So it's always nice to catch up. But, I feel like, there's such pride and, it's a business. You want to win and you want to have success. And so when the puck drops, you have to lock in and dial in. And sure, you want that guy to do good, but just not tonight. You got to do good. You wish him, hopefully nothing bad happens to him. But when that puck drops, you got to dial in and do whatever you can. And I've been on quite a few teams in my career, and so I have a lot of good buddies all over. But once that puck drops, it's all business.
It's game on. It's game on.
Oh, yeah.
Well, speaking of fans, as this is Superfan Diaries, for folks listening, hockey is another level of travel, okay? My son, now 13, has two close friends in middle school here in Tennessee at BGA. They're living here, and I believe 2 weekends a month they are flying to Montreal for weekend tournaments. I mean, this is off the charts. Ryan and Kelly jump back to childhood hockey, and right before, obviously, you guys joined into high school with one another. Tell us how many days a week you were practicing back then and how many weekends your parents had to, quote, give up or left town to travel to these away games.
Well, I grew up with two brothers who also played everything as well. So, I mean, I remember my childhood just going from lacrosse in the summer to hockey in the winter. And then the older we got, it was just more and more hockey and more and more hockey. And yeah, like in places like Nashville and stuff, there's those travel teams and those kind of
Huge,
where,
huge.
yeah, like and Ryan knows with his kids now playing hockey in the States, it's a little different in Canada. It's not, it's basically like breathing. It's everywhere. It's every time. Like if you're a hockey player like me and Ryan growing up, it was anytime you could get on the ice, you were getting on the ice in pond hockey in the winter, or if anybody we were both lucky too to have older brothers where if we were allowed to get on the ice with them, we were out there. So I know my childhood, I just remember just being in a hockey arena like the whole time. So
yeah, we have Miracle. For people like me, we just remember the movie Miracle, right? That's when they're out there on the ice on a pond.
Yeah.
Ryan,
yeah.
how about you? You were hitting ice pretty hard, I'm sure too.
Oh yeah, yeah, same thing. Growing up in Canada, anytime there was, the biggest thing we looked forward to is snow days, and my dad would drop me and my brother off at the rink, and we'd be there for the entire day and just skating all day. And we're lucky in Canada that you had a lot of good competition close, and so there's still weekends you're going, even like weekdays you're traveling, an hour or so or a little more than that to have good competition, but. Yeah, hockey was just a way of life. As any free time we could, we were playing, and it's interesting seeing it here, like down here in Nashville now, being a hockey dad now,
so
and
big.
seeing my kids in it. There's so much travel to it.
Yeah.
There's not enough rinks here in Nashville, so it's like you got to go to all these tournaments, and it's such a the parents that are in it, you see it. There's such a dedication. It takes so much time and effort. It's amazing, but it is, you see it. I was in St. Louis for a while where, hockey's been around for 50 years. It's been a little over 25 years here now. You see it growing. It's such a great game, and you can see the passion of it and the commitment from parents and kids to it. It's such an amazing game. It's such a fast, exciting game with so many unique skills, but it is such a commitment. It's just, you constantly have to be traveling for it and
making it work. Well, now time to fast forward a little bit. As the music partnership is pretty recent, Ryan, most hockey fans listening know what you've been doing since 2009 when you were drafted to clearly the team you wanted to be drafted to, the Colorado Avalanche, which is congratulations on making that happen. I think a little Eli Manning style by you. You won a Stanley Cup with the St. Louis Blues. So I now actually want to turn the attention to you, Kelly. Give us a quick background on where your passion has been before starting the band Mac N Cheeze. Were you part of another band before?
So once I played some professional hockey in Europe and stuff like that. When I retired, I actually started getting into acting and writing and producing and things like that in Toronto. And music has always been an extension of that to me as well anyways. And me and Ryan being really into music. And I think it's one of those things too with hockey, you find that there's a lot of downtime on the road and things like that. And even just at home, when you're done training and just sort of relaxing, it's nice to like pick something up, a book or things like that. But I think me and Ryan got into music and it started becoming more than just a thing to pass the time. You know what I mean? So I think once I was done and I started doing creating and acting and things like that. And it was, again, like it was just an extension of that to get into the music side of it. And me and Ryan have kind of written songs for years where we just kind of made joke songs and maybe some more serious songs, but also a lot of just like silly songs that we play to make each other laugh or our friends laugh. And I think the funny thing was just switching to more kids oriented things when Ryan started having kids. But yeah, like we like to say we did technically have a band before Mac N Cheeze called the Arties, but that was just
there you go. There's always history. There's always that background first timer.
Yeah.
Well, the question I have now is for first time you just said it. You set this up for my next question before I didn't even have to think of it, which is you all started doing this a long time ago. You started thinking of songs just for fun, like things I sometimes may do in the shower, just singing, having some fun. But walk us through how it happened and the first realization that you realized these songs you were created were actually really good.
Yeah, I guess it's, once I started having kids and, we'd get together and we're picking up the instruments and, we're playing, messing around with other songs and, playing, covers and realizing that, the kids really don't want to hear Pearl Jam right now or, Lumineers. They want to hear something they can move to and be silly to.
Yeah,
and so
you're right.
that was kind of like the birth of like, okay, well, how do we make my little 2-year-old, get up there and shake his butt? And
Yes.
like, so it's kind of like,
Because we love it. It's so adorable. As parents, you just get so excited.
exactly. And so that's kind of how we started writing these songs. They started just like developing naturally. And then as we kind of, we had a few songs we've been kind of working on, but not like really sat down and just been like, hey, this is it. It was just kind of ones we had. And once I kind of came to Nashville, kind of my wife had the idea, is like, you should go in and like actually record these. It'd be great to be able to have for our friends and family. Right, just get in the car and open up Apple or Spotify and go right to the song and be able to hear it because the kids love it. So
yeah,
it was kind of this idea that we've had year before about this, children's duo in like more of a TV show aspect. It kind of like, for us, it kind of clicked like, well, why don't we try like actually doing this? And we kind of took it much more seriously and making these silly songs. And it kind of, I don't know, Kelly, if you want to take over from there, but how it kind of steamrolled, I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too is
well, let's just, Ryan, I can't stop, but look at the fact that you're wearing a macaroni. I mean, you're wearing macaroni while you're saying all this, which is just amazing. Kelly, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. I was just gonna say, I think it was just the timing of it too, Ryan, being in Nashville and hooking up with people who are just super talented musicians in Nashville and things like that.
Loaded here. Yep.
When we got into the studio, we worked with some really amazing people, from just the day workers that came in and played instruments for us, to our producer Chris Kimmerer, who's also the drummer with Thomas Rhett. And they kind of just elevated everything and also kind of built our confidence in ourselves, I think, a little bit too, in what we were doing. And it sort of, again, snowballed and kind of kept going that way. And I just think it became something that we were really proud of, the music. And we just thought like again, the original idea was just to make our own friends and family and kids laugh. But if we could make some more laughter and stuff from other families and stuff, that'd be great.
All right, well, speaking of laughter, how on earth were you both able to record the song Bye Bye Mr. Pooh without laughing? I mean, I want to see the behind scenes, but no pun intended, of the making of that song.
There's a lot of the studio. I'll go back to just when we were like coming from like doing acting and stuff and being creative and stuff like that. Once we were in the studio, Ryan will say the same. It was one of the, besides hockey stuff I can remember in my life, it was the most fun I've ever just had. There's like an energy that comes out of you, and just like you said, we couldn't get through a lot of lines, and we were like we're making noises and doing silly voices and things like that. And it was, I'd like to say that the reason, I think a big reason why people are connecting to the music and appreciating the music is because I think that when people make something and they've had fun making it, the people can feel it when they've seen the final product, whether it's a movie, a TV show, an album. Maybe you didn't see it happen, but they had a great time doing it because the product is just so great. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it. It's just
perfect.
Awesome.
Yep. And I agree with you. I mean, that's pretty much, that's media. Same thing on the ice, right, guys? When you guys are feeling, when you're in the zone, you're unstoppable. So that's the end of the first period. Grab something cold, maybe throw on Pizza Party or Bye Bye Mr. Pooh. We'll be right back with Mac N Cheeze.
Started as a kid with a team to believe in. Every win and loss left my heart still beating.
Welcome back, and we are starting up the second period with Mac N Cheeze, a hockey duo bringing joy with some super fun music. All right, gentlemen. In the world of starting new things, nothing goes as planned, and everything takes longer than expected. The album Pizza Party dropped April 10 of this year, very recently. What did that moment feel like, and how long did that journey take to get from the start to the debut?
I mean, it's crazy how, I mean, again, Ryan and I recorded the album in Nashville not last, 2 summers ago now?
Yeah,
two summers ago. And, in our heads too, being a little bit new to the recording side of it, and you think you kind of get the songs down, and 2 weeks later you think you're going to have the full product, but it's just not that way. So there's a lot of behind the scenes things that we learned about. We also got signed to a record label, Dine Alone Records, and we got a manager and
congratulations. That's awesome.
To sort of help pump it out and stuff like that. And it's kind of been a long journey, and we're like at this point too, we still feel like it's like the beginning of it, even though we've basically been working on it in some ways for like 4 years. And I think Ryan had mentioned sort of slightly that, I think the spark of the idea came from a bit of a TV show idea, which we're actually pitching a TV show with a Canadian writer, producer, comedian, Jerry D.
Okay.
We signed a deal with him to start putting out this show. So we're kind of pitching to networks and things like that now. But the show is based on like a parody maybe version of Me and Ryan, but it's an adult show, not for kids. That's sort of a bit of a bit of the behind the scenes, and not our, like, again, us playing versions of ourselves, I guess would be what it is. But again, yeah, so that was where we kind of have that TV show idea is our big thing that we're coming out with next, I guess.
All right. Well, when we switch to the thing you just mentioned there, children, some things, you guys are also going to get ready to do a project that's for adult only. Well, as we speak about kids, just for you guys today, because I know Ryan, I know all Preds fans. I'm that boring corporate guy who has like a polo shirt that says Preds. So I had to borrow my son's Predator shirt. Fat man in a little shirt.
Oh, I didn't even notice it was that short on your arms.
Oh, yeah. No, this thing's like, you can't see it, but all the people walking on Broadway here, they can definitely see the little belly coming through it. It's not a fit hockey belly. So when I think about this right out of the gate, what's it like seeing kids and families connect to the song so quickly, and y'all have such an impressive following so quickly? So what's the feeling like?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's hilarious. Like, it's, obviously you do one thing, out there playing hockey, and I get so dialed into that. And even at the rink now, the amount of parents come up to me and are just like, oh, pizza parties are,
Yeah, your pizza party. Forget being you. You're a pizza party guy.
It is. Like, it's hilarious. Like, the parents, just the feedback from them, like, oh, we're rocking out to it all the time. And like, it's just so funny to have this. I don't know. It's really cool for me just to see how people are connecting to this kind of crazy little thing. Me and Kelly created it's something completely different of hockey, but enjoying it and connecting with their kids with it and having a laugh. And I know the parents laughing and just us being crazy doing it, and the kids just requesting the songs again and again. Like, it's I don't know. It's just a really cool feeling that we know our kids loved it, and it was cool to see their reactions. But the more and more people getting it, it's just kind of, it's kind of like a little pinch me kind of thing.
When you think about moments when you make decisions and you actually listen to your kids. So Ryan, how old are what's your span of age between your children right now, the youngest to the oldest?
Yeah, so it's 8 to 2. So 8, 6, 4, and 2.
Prime time. I mean, that is prime time for what you all are doing. So you're not going to be able to get, for you, Kelly, when you're trying to think of other songs, you're not going to get a better target market.
Oh, we love that, yeah.
So if you think about it in our world with Superfan Diaries, where our age gap is pretty much a huge gradient of different people involved, but we have a really high audience group of women watching, which is amazing for sports shows. But I will tell you a secret. How have we gotten 1.5 million views on TikTok? My 12-year-old son. Because we went to a SneakerCon event, and there was this amazing individual named K-Camp. Never heard of him before, but he's an amazing artist. And he's like, Dad, go stand next to him and, just interview him real quick. That's what we want to see. That's what 12-year-olds want to see. Right. So I did the interview because he told me to, and then we posted 1.5 million views. I mean, like,
incredible.
It's and what I'm saying is I wouldn't have thought of that. I'm going to be like, typical corporate guy, hey, what's ever. Right. And he's like, no, Dad, you got to be cool. You got to be sneaky. And what he does is he swipes. And you guys are going to be going through this as well in the next few years when your children are 8. You probably got to wait till you're like 12 when they get the watch or iPhone thing. Not the iPhone, but like, the little watch. But when they start getting involved in social media, the swiping, I mean, it's incredible. But with your target market, I think that's pretty, what I will call pretty amazing. So Ryan, not many people have two successful passions: achieving Hall of Fame status and then jumping into a totally new career of music. The NHL life is structure, pressure, huge expectations, and then you have music, which is fun, loose, creative. I am just trying to imagine, at practice, you skating at full speed down the ice with a little fun dance, a little macaroni maybe you bring to the dance, to the ice floor, singing in your head with Pizza Party. What does that actually feel like daily to balance these two worlds?
Yeah, well, I feel like the way I kind of got into music, because there's so much real downtime away from the rink, and I was kind of sometimes playing video games a little too much, and I was like, I've always loved music and playing it. I'm like, okay, why don't I lock into music a bit more and tap into that, which is much more creative and fun. And so that kind of always was like a nice escape for me. And then obviously it's blossomed into this and songwriting and crazy stuff this way. But it is hilarious that even like my teammates, how much they've gotten behind it. And Pizza Party was our win song this year. And, I get off the ice and I'm walking by and I can hear from the showers, all the guys singing Coconut in the showers. And I'm just like, I hope the coach doesn't be like, what is going on here?
My next question is, have you gotten Bill Haslam to dance to your music yet?
He's brought it up a couple of times. I haven't seen him dance to it, but
Way to go, Bill.
And he's a great guy, but he supports it, which is really cool, which, I think I was a little nervous maybe how, teammates and, staff would take me creating children's music, but it is hilarious. I feel like, it's such just a cool thing about, that you're not always one thing, that, we all have these other things that we're into. And obviously mine, I think, put myself out there a little differently than most, but still, I love it. And like, I shouldn't be affected what others think of, what I'm doing. I think I play hockey, I give it everything I have. And now I'm creating songs with my best buddy and giving that everything I have too. So I hope that translates and people respect it. And hope
you've definitely, Ryan and Kelly, both of you have created what I'll call a mental health model, and as you all may know, and a lot of folks listening know my background as a mental health leader before jumping into this career of media. Kelly, do you feel making this music makes you a happier person?
Oh, of course. I mean, just bringing up mental health and things like that. I mean, totally. I think part of like going back to just a little bit of touching on how receptive and open arms the Predators organization and the fan base and everybody has been around there has been so supportive of Ryan, and that just means a lot, because where it's really the heart of it is just sort of coming from, just being yourself and you're allowed to be a little weird. You're allowed to be a little different. You could be a professional hockey player and you could be a good dad and you can do all these different things and it doesn't make you one way or the other. You know what I mean? So I think, it just brings out so much joy in myself and in our friends and families. The amount of times we get videos sent to us of friends and families, kids dancing to our songs, it literally almost like makes me cry sometimes, because it's just, that's what it was always about, was just to make some kids laugh and some kids dance and things like that. And again, just the hockey community itself, I think, has just been so great to us, and like just from not even NHL, but from our whole lives, right? So in a fun way, I think we want to show people that, as much as you can be committed to something like hockey and such a masculine sport where you're, like your body and your brain are all being put to the test at all times. And then you could still have times to make your kids laugh at home.
Well, I mean, I think that's one of the things for all the listeners out there. I know we talk about sporting, but we also, I've been getting to do some research, and I've told some folks down the road I will be able to do TED Talks. And I do believe that there is a mental health component of super fans, and people that embrace trying other things have a much healthier mental health than others. So I think it's amazing. And Ryan, I assume you probably feel the same way. And does it make you become a better hockey player listening to this music and developing it?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt just in my career, I felt like I couldn't be just 24/7 hockey. Like I need to be able to check out, and I need to be able to, mentally get away from it, to be able to come back to it and give it my all. And it's the same thing where, like I said, the mental health aspect of it, diving into this and the learning of it. Like I just find myself, reading books on music and just trying to understand that. And it was just, I'm so excited to just learn and get better at music and understand it more and create new things. It's so healthy for myself, especially getting towards the end of my career here. You do think about, hey, what's life after this? And I feel like, this project has given me some life towards that, where I hope, we can, for years to come, Kelly and I can make, some kids laugh and make good music. And I think it's so important to have something and those lessons and keep learning. Like we must never stop learning. And even like hockey too, I still feel like a kid when I touch the ice. I feel like I want to get better at practice, and I love what I do, but it's so much fun to have this other thing too that I enjoy so much and get to, be a part of something that makes people laugh.
Yeah. And, we go back to some of the folks we've had on the show, and for you listeners that have definitely made comments before around retirement. And I think Ryan just mentioned that idea. And yes, he is a lot younger than most, 60-plus-year-olds that are going to be retiring. But even at the age of 60, your life can just begin. You have other ideas you can do. It's not about putting it in neutral and, just watching Ryan on the ice, 3 days, 3 days a week. But it really is about jumping into this new world order of saying, hey, challenge yourself, learn something new. And I'm not going to jump too much into medicine, but it actually will help you reduce the level of dementia. Proven fact, in terms of that, of jumping into new, what I'll call new courses and new things like that. So my only question before we jump to the next level, which is Desert Fan Island, is, was there any hesitation from both of you about putting something out there like this? I mean, you just mentioned earlier, like, how would my teammates respond? How would Haslam or other members of the NHL or your friends and family, the movie industry, was there hesitation?
I'll just say from like the side of I think from the making the music and me and Ryan wanting to create something, zero hesitation. Love that part of it, but I think it was the coming out with it and kind of, I'll let Ryan speak to it more of just again, we've mentioned already, the hockey community, the NHL, the Preds,
they've embraced it, but you didn't know they'd embrace it.
But yeah, we don't like, before we don't know that's going to happen, right? And Ryan is sort of a bit of a trailblazer in that way that I don't think there's ever been another. Specifically, there's definitely never been another children's music band coming out of the NHL player, which I still love to say.
I love it too.
The Wiggles aren't worried about the NHL playoffs, or like, I love how in our little
don't mention the Wiggles. That's a competitor, Kelly. Come on now.
That's our Australian rival, but they'll never win a Stanley Cup. We know that. So
that's darn right.
At least our band has at least a shot to win a Stanley Cup everywhere. You know what I mean? So that's very unique for a children's band. No one else out there is worried about the trade deadline or anything like that. So
exactly.
I'll let Ryan speak to just that part of it, though, the hesitation and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure there was. Yeah, I think we wanted to put it out there when we first kind of got together. It's like, hey, we're putting this out there for our friends and family. And yeah, we just wanted to share this project. But it was just, I think where I would like questioning, hey, do we obviously put my name behind it and show like this is what I'm doing? And I think there was, there's definitely that inner battle. But, realizing that, hey, I've been around for a while. I think I'm kind of respected in the hockey community. I think people know I want to win.
And maybe a little bit, Ryan.
And I think people, would, not, I guess, could trust that, I'm giving my best in whatever I'm doing. And so I think, talking with that, we're like, hey, let's put it out there. And again, going back to that thing, like, of if I really care about what I'm doing and playing hockey and care about what I'm doing, making music, the only opinions that should matter are the people close to me, and they love it, and I should keep doing what I love to do. So it's kind of that, obviously, especially as we talk about social media and stuff, there's so much noise always and people looking for things, and I don't know, I feel like I lean into doing what I love to do, and if people don't like, that's fine. And
I'll also just say, like, just from his team, like, I know, like, him doing this, something, again, speaking about how well respected and a long career Ryan's had, and he's earned that, right? It's something that you've earned, and it's, I think, in the hockey world and for the young guys on his team, I think it's a cool thing to see that, if you put in the hard work and you do all the right things, you're allowed to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and try new things, and you'll be accepted as long as, like what Ryan's saying, you put your heart into it. It doesn't really matter, like, you know what I mean? There's lots of other, I remember back in a couple of years ago, I think it was Jacob Trouba who had an art show or something like that in the league. And I just remember thinking, that's so cool. Like, I love that. Like, I mean, good for him. And I think a few years before that, Zach Hyman might've had a children's book come out. And
there's an NFL player that's a rapper. So, I mean, like,
and I love that.
Cheer that on.
Do everything, do it all. Like, come out with art, music, TV, whatever it is. I just love that. And I think, like, I think there's something cool to Ryan being, as a veteran in the league and on his team, and having young guys on his team look up to him, not just from what he does at the arena, which I've seen before too. He's, the hardest working guy at practice, at the games, and all that kind of stuff. And then on top of that, he still has a sense of humor about himself, and he's making jokes for his teammates, and his teammates' kids are laughing at him and stuff. You know what I mean? And that's super rare, and I think it's something super wholesome and just I don't know. He's a leader on and off the ice. It's kind of a cliche thing to say, but even within our group and stuff, it's very obvious.
No, I think it's dead on. And let's see how you all answer these. It's now time for the Desert Fan Island. You all know what that is. We're going to be asking each of these individuals, Ryan and Kelly, 5 questions. Are you all ready for Desert Fan Island? Pretend for you, Kelly, Toronto Maple Leaf Stadium, singular. You're by yourself inside the arena, just you with an amphitheater. You get 1 movie, 1 musical artist outside of Mac N Cheeze, 1 food, 1 drink, and 1 person. All right, Kelly, we're going with you first. What's the 1 movie you're just going to have on loop?
Oh, boy.
I know. I put you out there. See, Ryan's getting to cheat because he gets time. He's getting the same questions. So he's now starting to think about it.
I'm a
Cheating.
sucker for anything Jim Carrey, so I think maybe I'll go with The Mask, which is
that's such a great film, by the way. Underrated, but a great movie.
Yeah,
Good call.
that's one that I think that kind of describes my personality a little bit too.
So good.
I always used to joke that I come from the acting school of Jim Carrey, but which is not a real. It's just I just watched too much Jim Carrey in my life that
I love
comes out. But yeah, I'll go with The Mask.
All right, 1 musical artist. You can a single singer, a band, 1 musical artist. Who's it going to be?
I will go Gord Downie and Tragically Hip, Gord Downie.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Canadian
1 food.
band.
1 food.
Food, I will go with pizza.
Okay, 1 drink.
Gatorade.
Oh, healthy.
We're going for that Gatorade sponsorship coming out.
Oh, there you go. Just loaded. All right, Kelly, you get 1 person. Who's going to join you?
I'll take my girlfriend, Caroline.
There you go. Good answer. All right, Ryan, you got the extra, sneak peek, cliff notes. 1 movie.
Interstellar.
That's a good movie. I mean, that's a complicated film, by the way. It
Yeah,
is the most complicated movie out there, by the way.
That one if that's on, I'm locked in. It just grabs me, pulls me in.
It's good. It's good. For everybody watching, at the very end of Interstellar, he's like basically, he's come back in time, right? And that's how he's able to speak with her?
Yes. It's,
Okay.
yeah, there's a lot of depth to it.
He's like, I don't know. I just like the movie.
He just likes the movie. Because I
like
know
Mac
there's
N
people
Cheeze.
listening. They don't understand the ending as either as me. So that's why I'm asking you, Ryan. All right. We'll jump. 1 music artist. Who's your music artist?
I say City and Color, who's featuring on Mr. Pooh, a good friend of mine, but my favorite singer-songwriter is just an incredible, kind of inspired me to play music that, I don't know, he's just an amazing person and musician that I love him, playing. It'd be great.
All right. 1 food?
I'm going to say I have to go pasta. A nice
Pasta, there you go.
spicy rigatoni vodka. We're
There
going
you go.
all sort of pasta. I love Italian food. Kelly took my answer of pizza, so I'm going to say pasta though. That's what I'm going with.
That's the benefit of getting to go first. Sometimes you get to pick out the better answer. All right, 1 drink.
If I could do an adult beverage, I would say I would say Guinness, if that's okay.
Oh,
Nice
That
Guinness
flashed through my head. I didn't know if that
That's
was
a great
allowed or
one.
not.
But
Yeah, you're absolutely. This is PG show. You can say Guinness, no problem.
okay, I was gonna say, if not that tea, I'm a big tea drinker. I love peppermint tea, so that would be my other option.
right.
And what's the last one again?
One person, Ryan. 1 person you get to be with.
Gosh, I would say I'm gonna go with for how it's lining up right now with everything there. I'm gonna say my brother.
That's cool.
He's the one who introduced me to City and Color, and he likes a lot of those things that I'm talking about there. So he would be someone who would really enjoy it. My brother Cal.
Awesome. I'm going to give you a bonus question, Ryan, just because right now you're in the NHL. Past or present, if you could invite 1 NHL player, past or present, to join you, who is it?
Ooh, gosh.
Join us in the band or join him and just in general?
No. He can't join the band. Just to join you in the arena. He's at Pred. He's here at Nashville Preds. He's at Bridgestone. That's where his desert island is.
You got to go with the great one. I feel like
Can't go wrong with that one.
I knew it.
yeah,
I knew
you
you
gotta
were
go
going
with the great one.
And by the way, he's here a lot. Just so you know, the great one
Oh,
is
yeah.
here. He's out playing golf, I think, recently at Troubadour recently, and I'm sure he's going to become a member of the Bounty. So that's another one. All right, that's the end of the second period. Leave a review, share with a friend. We'll be right back with Mac and Cheese for the end.
Started as a kid with a team to believe in. Every win and loss left my heart still beating.
Welcome back, and let's get back into it. As you can see, I've now got the cheese head on. He had some macaroni. Kelly doesn't have it, so I'm going to wear it in honor of Kelly today for the rest of the show. All right, let's jump to the next question, guys. When kids hear your music, what do you hope they feel?
When we go in to record music, I think we're always just like what we mentioned maybe off camera, was just how much fun it is to do this stuff. So we want kids just to be having fun, laughing. I mean, like we brought up before of Ryan's kids being good test subjects for our music, and they're hilarious because they'll just die laughing at the stuff we do, and we think it's just outrageous, but they want more and more and more. So we just want kids to feel free and happy and enjoy and feel uninhibited. Just so you know what I mean? We feel like we're weird guys and we're silly, and we like to show that, and we want that to come out of what we're looking at when we're performing and putting on music.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just feeling silly. Just,
Yes.
I don't know. Life can be so serious sometimes, and yeah, we just want to hit their ears and feel silly, move whatever the way they want to move.
Yeah.
They want to make animal noises with us, or just silly and into it, you know.
Poo sounds. There's a reason if you go to TikTok, one of the most popular is, of course, that guy that passes gas. And that's all the kids want to watch is that guy passing gas in public. You know what I'm talking about because you guys have both watched it.
Yeah.
You smile. We all know.
Totally.
All right. What do you want young athletes to learn about life beyond the game?
Ooh.
Snoop, you go ahead there.
I'm getting some questions for you guys now coming in the end.
I think kind of similar to what we touched on there with learning. I think that's something that, you know, we get so locked into a sport, and even at sport, you see it at my level, the professional level, that you forget to, you know, to keep learning. And no matter what you do, no matter how old you are, what stage in life you are, just there's always a way to get better at something and do something better. So, you know, my advice to kids is always be creative, find new ways to get better, find new ways, challenge yourself, and to never stop growing. It's an endless thing that you just keep evolving and keep trying to get better at whatever you're doing.
I love it. I love it. Well, guys, it's now time for the buzzer beater rapid fire. We have quick questions, so don't overthink them. Don't overthink them. We're going to start with you, Ryan. You get to go first. Now, both of you guys are going to have different questions, so sorry, Kelly. You're not going to be able to get some cheat answers here with the guy wearing the cheese head. But, Ryan, we're going to go with you first.
Okay.
Number one, favorite player of any sport growing up?
Already said it, but Wayne Gretzky growing up, he was.
Can't beat him. I saw him in LA when I lived there. Yeah, you can't beat him.
Yeah, sorry. I don't want to do repeat answers, but yeah, he was. Yeah,
that's all right.
Go.
Here's one a lot of people are going to want to know. Favorite arena you've played in?
The Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Yeah, it's no longer there, but yeah, that was. Remember watching a lot of guys I grew up playing there, watching.
Yep.
But yeah, that was it was cool playing there.
All right. One song before a game you have to listen to.
Gosh.
I love it.
Oh gosh, there's so many. This is a tough one.
Eye of the Tiger? I mean, you know, we all want to know. What gets you going?
One Big Holiday by My Morning Jacket.
I knew it.
Cool. Kelly, I
that-
should have asked you. You could have played that matchmaker game.
One Big Holiday has always won that. Come on.
I love it. Are the Preds going to make the playoffs next year?
Yes.
Hell yes. All right. Favorite college or NFL football team?
The Buffalo Bills.
All right. You know, we had the founder of the Buffalo Mafia here. He
Oh,
was
no
going to
way.
riot. Yeah. So I got to get up there one day and be able to watch these guys jump in the mustard ketchup, man.
Oh, it's
Such fandom.
it's the atmosphere, but definitely worth it.
Such fandom. All right. How many teeth of yours are real?
Most, all but one. I don't know if you can see, but
There you go. There we go, everybody.
yeah, I missed it. Just
So
that
cool.
front one. My front two got knocked out. They could save the one. The other now is will be gone until I retire and get it permanently fixed.
Makes sense. Smart move. Smart move. All right. Last question for you, Ryan. Where was the wildest place you or your Blues team took the Stanley Cup in 2019? And while he's thinking about that, for everybody listening, it's famous. The Stanley Cup is the most famous trophy, I believe, in all of sports. And what happens is the team and the players get to take this trophy all over the world. It's like a tradition. So that's why I'm asking the question.
Well, as a team, we did take it to Vegas, which was quite the scene. But no, for myself, taking it back, it's not that crazy. But taking it back to where I grew up, which is farm country in rural Ontario.
Love that.
We were pretty much at my parents' house in the middle of a field celebrating the Stanley Cup, which just surrounded by cornfields and bean fields.
That's special.
Yeah, it was pretty
special.
Pretty darn cool.
That's original, and that's someplace that Stanley Cup has never been before.
That is for sure.
Kelly, you're up. If you could visit only one city in Canada as a tourist, where do you recommend?
Recommend? Ooh.
Yeah, what do you recommend to everybody listening? A lot of Americans listening to this song. I mean, this is the show.
I would recommend going to Muskoka in the summer times, but
okay,
Muskoka area. I guess there's different towns, but the Muskoka area.
I love it. All right, most valuable sports memorabilia you own.
Oh, this is kind of a fun fact. My dad grew up with his godfather was Tim Horton, as in the Tim Horton. My grandfather was friends with Tim Horton, and so we actually have a few cool old Tim Horton signed hockey sticks from like that era, which is insane. An old Teeter Kennedy real hockey jersey, from those old sweaters and stuff. So I have a couple of those cool things, and it's more of our family stuff, but my dad has those things at home. So I'd say those Tim Horton memorabilia.
What's the biggest difference between living in Canada and living in the U.S.?
I live in Los Angeles, so I'd say the weather. I mean, the weather
That's all you have to say, because you're exactly right.
The biggest mood booster I've ever had is just walking out in December, walking along at a beach with the sunshine and calling my brother back at home in Calgary. And he's got I don't know, 12 feet of snow. 12, I'm not even exaggerating, literally 12 feet of snow in front of him. So that part.
All right. Who's more competitive, you or Ryan?
Ryan. Hold on, I'll say Ryan comes by honestly, because if I'm going to go the most competitive in the family and in our stratosphere, it's mom. His mom's the competitive.
Always the mom. How do you think we all got here? Yeah. All right. What, in your opinion, is the wildest fan tradition in hockey? Is the Detroit Octopus? Maybe Catfish? What's your choice? Not between those two, of any of them. What's the wildest? I know you know them all, Kelly. What's the wildest fandom, craziest of all hockey fans?
Man, I guess the Catfish is pretty wild.
I love our Catfish. I don't know how people bring that in, because I thought about doing it, but I'm like, that's going to ruin your whole day.
I've seen some people do the behind the scenes of people sneaking it in, and they're like shoving it down their pants and stuff. Yes. And I'm like, that's just not going to be good for everyone around you while you're watching the game.
I know, but you feel.
But the Octopus, that was back in the day in the '90s, growing up, and you were watching like Steve Yzerman and those guys playing playoff games, and I don't know. It just reminds me of Don Cherry, Rock'em Sock'em, seeing having them squishing the octopus or something. So maybe that one.
All right. Your last question. What advice do you give yourself when you're 18 years old? Go back in time. Give yourself some advice. What are you going to give yourself?
I would say, I have brought this up even with just guys on, I think kind of touched on it a little bit about Ryan kind of inspiring younger guys to be kind of getting out of their comfort zone a little bit with what he's doing. I think when you're young and you're playing junior hockey, you get so caught up in just trying to make it and trying to play hockey the best you can. And everybody is telling you just need to be on the ice more, be training more. And I was one of those guys who kind of did all that kind of stuff. And, you kind of put your heart and soul into it. And not to say that you forget other things, but there's other things to enjoy in life as well. I would just say, dive into, if I was giving myself advice, I would say dive into some of those creative outlets further than you have at that point in my life. I've always been a creative person, and I think there's something about being a professional hockey player where you really just got to go into it. So maybe some of those other things get pushed to the side. But as I got older, and I'm sure Ryan feels the same way, is there's room for that, and it actually helps, and it kind of builds that other part up by giving yourself a break and being creative and things like that will actually help with your hockey. And just because you're a serious hockey player doesn't mean you can't do some other fun things on the side without taking away from the hockey. So I would just say, if I was giving advice, do everything that you can and continue to work hard at what you. I think Ryan says it great. It's just that if you put your heart into it, whether it's hockey or writing or music, whatever it is, just put your heart into it.
I love it. All right, guys, where can our listeners find you guys?
MacandCheeze.com. And then we're on all the Spotify, Apple Music. We're on all the places you can find music. YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, there's a whole, we didn't touch on yet, but a whole animated side on, Kelly's been working with the team and creating videos for these songs, and my kids love them. They're great to throw on, just silly animated animals singing the songs and our characters doing it. So definitely check it out.
And that's all on YouTube, right, Ryan?
Yep.
Kelly, that's all on YouTube. So when you go to YouTube, you look up Mac N Cheeze, you type in Ryan Kelly, that'll help you find the exact right one. And that's how y'all can find him. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Ryan, Kelly, this is more than hockey, more than music. This is about holding on to what made you fall in love with life. From locker room cheers to having your song sung loudly in family living rooms, you've turned friendship into something people feel and reminded all of us it's okay to stay a kid. This is the Superfan Diaries. I'm J.R. Green. Follow, review, and nominate your favorite Superfans. And remember, if you make one person smile today, you've had a great day. Make them laugh, even better. Go get them.
Did somebody order more pizza?
Pizza party.